Hi guys, a very good evening to you all. This is Aishwarya and I'm the host for today's webinar. And welcome to the webinar that helps you in boosting up your interview preparation strategies. Before moving ahead, I just want a help from you guys that if I'm audible to you or not, a thumbs up, a yes, audible comment will work for me. Meanwhile, assuming that I'm audible to you guys, I'll just tell you about this webinar. Today's webinar is on Cisco interview preparations. And for today's webinar, we have Mr. Rishabh Gupta with us to share his interview experience with Cisco. Without wasting any time, let's add Rishabh to the stream and begin with our webinar. And also, there is a list of questions that I'll be asking from Rishabh. And after that, I'll pick up your questions, your doubt if you have. And Rishabh will try to help you out with those questions. So, yes, let's quickly begin and add Rishabh to the stream. Hi, Rishabh. Good evening. How are you?
Hi Aishwarya, I'm fine. How about you?
I'm also good. So, Rishabh, I hope that you're excited about today's webinar.
Yes, definitely. It's a great opportunity to interact with a lot of people.
Yeah, thank you. That's great. That's great. Let's quickly begin with our session with the and what would be better than your brief introduction. So let's quickly begin with that. So please tell our audience about yourself.
So, hi everyone. My name is Rishabh Gupta and I completed my BTech this year in 2021 from GL Bajaj Institute of Technology and Management, Greater Noida. I did my BTech in Electronics and Communications Engineering and I'm currently working as a consulting engineer in Cisco. I joined Cisco as an intern in January this year and in August I am working as a full time.
Okay. Okay. Rishabh, can you please tell our audience about like how did you get to know about this opportunity at Cisco?
So this was an off-campus opportunity. I got into
Okay.
Cisco through Cisco Ideathon hiring. So this hiring is exclusively for networking academy partner colleges. So our college
Sorry.
also was a partner for networking academy, and colleges from all over India students are given the chance to participate into Cisco hiring. So this consisted of
Okay.
6 rounds. The 6 rounds
Okay.
included the MCQ round. The first one was the MCQ round, which involved questions from aptitude and computer networking. Then the second round was the idea submission round. So we were given some problem statements, 3 problem statements, and we had to prepare 90-second video for that. And we have to present our
Okay.
idea. So this was the second round. Then the third round again included some computer networking questions and plus a coding question. Then came the three
Okay.
interviews: the technical interview, the manager interview, and the HR interview. So this was the complete hiring process for Cisco Ideathon.
Okay, so basically you've summed up the answer for my next question as well right now. Like my next question was, must have been from you, like how many rounds were there? So you have just clarified it to the audience already that there were how many rounds, this much rounds. So can you please tell us that what was the content of each and every round to the audience so that they get to know that okay, these type of questions were asked in this round. So, with some question example, if you can tell or share your each and every round briefly with the audience.
The very first round was an MCQ, complete MCQ round. So it had aptitude
Okay.
questions, general time, speed, and then computer networking questions, some output based questions from C, C++, OOF concepts. Then the
Okay.
shortlisted students were went into the second round. The second round, the idea submission. So as I explained
Okay.
earlier, out of 3 problem statements, we have to give an idea for the 90-second video on one of the topic. And once we were shortlisted, so we had another second B round. It was just in like your behavioral assessment. It was for like 50 minutes, some 70-80 questions, agree, disagree. Your behavioral assessment was there. The third round again, which was MCQ plus coding round. So this MCQs had like questions from aptitude, then computer networking mostly, some OS questions, DBMS, C or C++ output based questions. And it had a coding question as well. Coding questions was like intermediate level. So Then once the students were shortlisted from the third round, they they were called for three interviews. The technical interview which mostly
Okay.
focused on computer network. Was interviewed for consulting engineer role. So Cisco is a worldwide leader in networking solutions. They focus on
Yeah.
computer networking mostly and your resume. They look a lot on your project, your internships you had done, and how well are you able to justify what you have written in resume. So this lasted for
Okay.
around 45 to 50 minutes, and a puzzle was asked as well in the technical interview. So puzzle, I would say that you can prepare for Geeks for Geeks. So the puzzle I was asked was exactly there in Geeks for Geeks. I was able to provide that answer well. And then moving, once you are shortlisted into that technical interview, you have manager interview. So the manager interview, mostly situational based questions are asked from you. The questions from your projects, like what exactly was your role if you did it in a team, and how would you react to a
Okay.
situation move.
Okay.
So these are the questions, general questions asked in manager round. And this lasts normally for 25 to 30 or 40 minutes depending upon the person taking your interview. Then once you are
Okay.
shortlisted, the last round is of HR interview. HR, as we all know, like why do you want to join this particular companies, your short
Right.
term and long
Right.
term goals, and all these discussions were there in HR interview.
Okay. Okay. Right. So basically, if I want to talk about the HR round also, like usually the HR rounds are very tricky. Like these, they seem very simple, but it can, just drop down all your mehnat, and just like you will be like that. Okay, it is just now row it. So what should be kept in mind when you are going through that? What was your mental state, or how did you prepare yourself for the particular this HR round?
So coming to HR round, I was like, I have come all this way far. I cannot make any mess over here. So I was like, I should be just thorough with my answer, just not be like too quick to answer anything. Be calm, remain calm, and just provide my optimized solution, optimized answer for any of the tricky questions. Like some of the questions were, what would you do if someone else hires you or gives some more like better package, or if you are unable to work into the particular shift which we are offering, or if you are not unable to adjust to the role. So you have to be very calculative in that situation.
Right, right,
You
right,
need
right.
to
Great.
understand the situation well and then respond accordingly.
Right, right. Thanks for sharing this with us, Rishabh. Now, I just want to discuss on the part when you shared that the interviewers asked about your projects and about a lot about your resume, and the interview was going majorly on your resume part. So we want to know, our audience would like to know that what projects you worked on. Please tell us that, and what did you put on your resume to make it more look different from the rest, like what made your resume stand apart from the rest?
So the best part for me was that in my resume I had participated in few hackathons. So in a hackathon, some people might have heard Smart India hackathon. I won it in 2020, and in 2019 I was a grand finalist. So this
Nice,
hackathon is
nice.
conducted by government of India, and since it was a team event, so people were from like CSE and IT, and then I was from EC. So it was a collaborative team effort. So that was a big plus for me, that I was able to work on something innovative and provide some ideas into the real life solution. So this was a big plus for me. I was able to put it very in a very efficient manner to the interviewers and explain them my role, because it's very important when you are doing a project in a team. You should be able to clarify what you did, what was your contribution, and how you helped build that idea.
Right.
So this was
Yeah.
one thing. And mostly my projects were based on electronics background, since I was from electronics background. So my most of the projects
Okay.
were from my core branch. Even in final year, my project was based on providing embedded solutions in the real time communication between the drivers. So I had mostly these core branches projects, and some of the projects I did like for the certifications for Udemy, or like Coursera certification. So I made some small projects on DBMS and
Okay.
web development, like small sites kind of websites.
Right, right, right. Right. So basically, it is very important to work on your resume, right? So we can sum up this in a way that projects are important, internships are important. It's like it adds up and gives value to your resume. It adds stars to your resume, and it makes your resume stand out. If you want to do this, if you want this, like your resume to stand out, you have to do this, right? Okay.
Yes, like
So,
resume projects and internship,
yes, please continue.
projects and resume do make your resume look stand out. They provide a platform for you. They show your experience in a particular field and your real life experience, how you tackled difficult situations, and how you did your research and were able to overcome various kind of challenges while doing projects, whether it is learning new concept, or whether dealing with people in a team, working in a team, collaborating while doing internships.
Okay, okay, got it. So now, Rishabh, can you please share your, your learning plan, your preparation strategy? Like, how did you prepare for each and every round that you went through in your interview, and how when did you start preparing for your interview? What topics you pick up first? What you left for the last, for the end, and for each round, like if we talk about the MCQ, if we talk about the technical round, so how did you go about it? We want to know all about it.
The very first round for the MCQ round, for me, aptitude and the pseudocode, the output part. Thankfully, for my training department, training and placement cell, they provided us like classes for aptitude, and I had always had an interest in aptitudes and verbal kind of thing.
Oh,
So it was not
right.
much difficult for me. I was preparing it from
Hmm.
like March itself, from 3 months earlier. And coming to
Okay.
computer networking, it was a subject in my branch. So I had somewhat interest earlier, so I had studied things from third year itself. So I was able to clear the first round. Then second round for the idea, we were given a week's time. In a week's time, we have to understand a problem statement and then come up with an innovative solution. Not necessarily should be a prototype, it should be an idea, but it should be a feasible one, which would ease the problem of the people. So for that,
Okay.
basically we have to do a lot of research, like currently what is there in the market, and how we can make it easier, and how could we reduce the complexity. So it involved a lot of discussions with a lot of people, with my friends and then my teachers. Bringing up an idea was a difficult task for me at that time, since it was COVID, so we were not able to actually do some groundwork. And once we were able to get shortlist for the second round, for the third round again, since it was a coding question and there were MCQs from the computer networking fundamental subjects such as DBMS and computer networking. Computer networking, I would say that people would go through Geeks for Geeks, Java T Point, some Udemy courses are there, and YouTube. There's a lot to learn, a lot to learn. So we had a like week's time, more than a week's time earlier. So it was a lot of time to brush up the concepts and go through the important protocols and the important questions. One more thing is there, the interview experience, the previous interview experiences. It is a must read for everyone. If you are preparing for any company, not
Okay.
just Cisco, Amazon, Google, or any company, there are a lot of interview experiences. So this was a big plus for me. I went through Geeks for Geeks interview experiences. I almost read them twice, I remember, just the day before interview, and shortlisted the questions. Okay, these are the common questions, and this is how to answer. So we learn
Okay.
from others experience as well.
True, true.
So
That's
yes,
absolutely true. That's
that
why we are
gave
doing
me
this
a
series.
boost.
Like we want you guys to come here, just tell us and share your experiences, because we want the others in the community to just know that okay, how this goes.
Exactly, and the worst part was that we had no idea about this. Okay, this was the first time we were participating in this ideathon process, and we had like no senior or alumni for since I was from a tier 3 college. So I was clueless mostly, like okay, how should I proceed over here. So then the platforms such as Geeks for Geeks, Java T Point, and YouTube especially was a big boost for us. So once the interview started, things went
Okay.
smooth. The interview process was went very cool. And then the manager round, situational based questions again. Just Google it out,
Perfect.
top 15 situational based questions, and your mentality, like how would you react over there in that particular situation. So I remember my power went off, and my laptop had no battery at that moment. So in 10 minutes I arranged another laptop. So I had it prepared. I knew that in computer networks, redundancy is a very important concept. Means
Right.
having a backup. So I had already arranged for that. So these are the some of the, you should be prepared beforehand, like okay, what would happen, like if this situation worsens, and how would you react to these situations. So this is your mentality, how you react at that situation and present your answer. So this was very important in managing round. Like there were a lot of situation based questions asked to me regarding my project and my upcoming endeavors. Then the HR round, it was very clear. In HR round, you have to prepare about the company, the CSR activities, what is the involvement of the company in India, since how long it has been developing the products, and what are the biggest products of the company, and what are its competitors. So you have to research all that. You have to be prepared
Okay.
about the company. Okay, what the company had been in last year or last quarter, anything exceptional company is working on. So you need to show that curiosity, the passion you have towards the technology, and the zeal to work.
Perfect. So that was the perfect description of like the preparation strategy. I am pretty sure that our audience right now is jotting down points that okay, that how they can frame their strategy through this answer. Thank you so much, Risha, for sharing that. Apart from my method, this is very off track, sir. Like it is not planned, but I really want to know, and our audience would like to know, but like how did you keep yourself motivated? Like there are times when you are learning something, you are preparing something, and you really feel sick about something because you're not getting it properly, and same goes in the interview processes as well. I don't know about your scenario particularly, because sometimes there are times that people are giving interviews and they're failing. So how one should keep them motivated, and how did you keep yourself motivated at that time?
Initially, when the placements began, there were some companies which I was not able to crack. So I was a bit demotivated, but thankfully, I'm thankful to a lot of people, especially my friends, my peer group. Uh, Not just from the same branch, I had people in almost every branch from the hostel. So they were the biggest like motivation for me. So they always kept me motivating. Acha, you have already done this. You can do this again. There are a lot of companies coming, and you have the potential. It's not like we can't start over again. So it's like a phase of life. We have been in engineering 4 years. We have done assignments at the last moment of time. So we can learn anything, unlearn again,
Right,
upskill
absolutely
ourselves,
correct.
and overcome any challenge.
Yeah.
So
So,
this
okay.
and the another thing was that the support from the family.
Yeah, that's really important. Okay. I guess there is some connection issue. Like, am I audible to you, Rishabh?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, cool. So, without delaying any further, my questions are here over now. I would like to request our audience if they have any doubt regarding the interview preparation strategy or regarding Cisco. Rishabh will try his best to answer your questions, basically to help you out in your queries. So you can drop in your questions in the comment section, and we'll take the questions one by one. So let's start, Rishabh. Okay, I'll pick up the questions, and let's help our audience out in the questions, in the problems. Cool.
Yes.
Okay, so first question we'll take up from Abhishek Sharma. He's asking if being too honest is wrong while speaking in an interview.
So I won't exactly say that it's wrong, but you can't be just like too direct. You have to recalculate your points. Okay, how much you should inform the interviewer. Okay, there is like a limit to anything. You need not to be like too direct, too clear, honest, but you should recalculate. Okay, these points will help me. These points are not for speaking in an interview. Like if you'd say that you haven't worked anything or you did something wrong, so that would be a negative. Interviewers just everything. They not just see your like past record, they see your how would you react, they see everything.
Okay, cool. So next question is from Shibani Shobha. Sorry. Um, she's asking how long it took you to master DSA.
Honestly, no one can master DSA like not in a short time. You have to keep practicing. Like every day there's a new challenge over here, and I haven't mastered DSA. So I started DSA very late. I was from electronics branch, so I was I got help from my friends whenever I got stuck. So not exactly I would say I have much I had mastery over DSA. And for that you have to do continuous practice. Like it takes years. Even a person who is working as an SDE would not be able to say that he has mastered everything completely DSA. There are still lot of topics, lot of challenges one needs to work on, and it's problem solving. The more you work, the more efficient you become. But you should, if you want to like have a good grasp of DSA, you should start working it in first year or the start of the second year. So by the time the placement for the placement the companies come, you should be able to solve some hard level questions as well. Ashwarya, you are on mute. Sorry.
Sorry. So, okay, thanks. So, like you have already answered Shobha's next question, like how you revise DSA. So it's pretty much sorted here. Okay. So next question, I think this will be the last question that we'll be taking, like from Varun Tej. He's asking what are the advanced topics to cover in DSA and where to test his DSA strength.
The advanced topics, I would say you should prepare trees, graphs, and start with basic topics. And once you have basics covered, so trees, graphs, dynamic programming, these are the very important concepts. And for testing your DSA strength, you can move either to lead code. Lead code had a lot of competitive programming questions for specifically for the company wise questions as well. Then you can test it in competitions in code forces or the, so code forces has a lot of competitions like national level competitions. So you can compete with all over India, like test your DSA knowledge.
Okay. ठीक है. Next question. Okay, we'll be taking one more question from Nilesh. He's asking how to master in writing logics in coding. Coding, please help. Again, we cannot master, but you can help them with the strategy of doing that.
So the very first thing is you need to analyze how much progress you have made. Okay, every day, like you should be doing some two or three intermediate to hard level questions. You should practice it, and then you need to like recalculate. Okay, these are the topics I'm lagging in behind, or just study them, upskill yourself. Look for solutions if you are stuck, and get help from your friends or the seniors, from your peer group. And you need to like have an open mindset. Okay, if I'm not able to do it today, I'll try it again tomorrow. not tomorrow, then again I'll try it. So you need to work continuously on this. This is something which comes with time. The more consistent you are, the more
Right.
effort you put, you'll be able to figure out.
Okay. So that's it. That was our Q&A session from our audience. So this marks the ending of our webinar. At last, I just want you to just give some piece of advice to our audience and viewers, those who are about to sit in interview. What should they do? How should they go with it? So, piece of advice from Rishabh Gupta.
uh, the very first thing I say is, like, be yourself. Whatever comes to your mind, just be honest. Like, be honest with your answers, not too honest, but be calculative. Do not be afraid to try out new things. If you want to work on a particular field, just study that, research into that area. And in an interview, if you feel nervous, like, prepare it with your friends earlier. Like, practice mock interviews, that will boost up your confidence. And you should be prepared with some of the basic questions that interviews ask normally, like, tell me about yourself, or the HR questions, or the managerial situational based questions. So you should prepare that beforehand itself. And for the technical interviews, interview experiences are a must. You should be giving some time to read the interview experiences of other people and know about the company, okay, and the technology is the particular role which you are interview giving for. So you should research the role, okay, this is the role, and these are the technologies I should be working on in the upcoming future. So there should be a curiosity inside you, okay, this is how things work. That curiosity you have to show in that interview. Even if you're not able to answer something, just be provide them something. Okay, you can work on this, you can learn this in few time and upskill yourself. The collaborator, you can be a team player, or you can do individually and progress and contribute in the team. So this is what you have to show. It may happen that in one or two interview you may fail, you may get rejection, or you may not clear that interview. But again, if you try, you will get more efficient. And in some or the other interview, you will definitely clear that. And yes, you will pass with flying colors.
Thank you so much, Rishabh, for that piece of advice to our audience. And thanks from my side and from the team at Geeks for Geeks for conducting this session for us and taking our time from your schedule to have this session. So thanks a lot. We wish you all the best for your future and your career, and we also hope to conduct another session with you in on some other topic in future. I hope you enjoyed the session.
Thank you, sir. Yes, yes, definitely. Thank you so much for having me here. It was really nice.
Oh, okay, Rishabh. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you.
So, guys, that was it. That was Rishabh Gupta for you from Cisco, and who shared his interview experience, his interview preparation strategies. I hope that these strategies will help you. Out in your interview preparation, and yeah, and you'll gain some knowledge, you'll map your plan. So we'll be back. So this is all about this webinar series, right? So we'll be back with another webinar with another company and a new interview experience to help you out in your journey of interview preparation. So till then, keep following us on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and do not forget to um, press the bell icon and go for the you subscribe our notifications so that you will get updated every time when we'll have a webinar on the YouTube channel. So yeah, that's it. Till then, I'll meet you again. Till then, keep learning, and good night. Bye bye.